Think of it as the San Francisco Bridge, yet it's golden. And as you're walking with this beautiful being and you're being held, tell us where he's taking you.
It's Amun-Ra.
We welcome you. Thank you for being here today.
And he's nodding his head very sagely. And the very first thing I saw as I was traveling, or first thing I was told over and over, was time machine, time machine, time machine.
What about this time machine?
They said it's time for the quickening. This is the quickening where time is quicker than before. And it's the mechanisms and the mechanics behind time that humans don't understand. And yet it is very simple, because they are multi-dimensional beings, and yet they look in the mirror and they see, which is actually quite a small human, but that is just a little drop in the bucket of who they are. So if they can think of the size of a bucket and one drop of water, they are the bucket and they are the drop. And the drop in the bucket is the human. And yet they can't see the bucket. All they see are themselves. And yet time is timeless, for they are many, 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 many drops in that bucket. So one has to ask, how many drops can a bucket hold? And what is the separation between a drop in a bucket with another drop, with all the water right to the top? If you as a human had to stand and look into a bucket of water, you wouldn't see individual drops unless you got a dropper, an empty dropper, and went into the water and squeezed the top and pulled the water into the tube and then dropped it back one by one. How many drops would be in that bucket? That's actually how enormous, how large you truly are. And we would like to use this analogy so that humanity, every time they see a bucket for the rest of their lives, this current life, they will realize that they are all the water, but they are the bucket as well. And yet currently they are associating themselves with a single drop. So if they dive into the water, which is in the sea, in the lakes, in swimming pools, under the shower, in a spa pool, in a bath, under a waterfall, they will always be reminded that they are larger than who they are. And the time machine is there timing each individual experience. So in human terms, you have a clock, and you have hands on the clock, and it goes 12 hours and 12 hours, living through a day and a night. So this time that is ticking away, what is humanity doing with the seconds, with the minutes, with the hours and the days, the months and the years that they are forever putting off doing when they have a deep calling inside, knowing that there is something that they came to be, something that they came to do, and yet they find so many excuses as to why they can't do what they feel inside. And yet they are then treading water and going nowhere, absolutely on the same step, backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, until that step gets worn out. And that is why we say people are getting worn out. Because as you mentioned earlier, and it's not by chance that you mentioned it, about the stories that one holds in one's head, the belief systems, the assumptions, the programming of humanity. But the stories are often not real. It's often a perception to perceive something. Is it actually true, or does it come with your belief systems? And then you make assumptions. And so a story that is not even true goes over and over like a racetrack, a circuit board in your mind. And you spend so much energy on the story. And the story's old. And it's keeping you rooted to the stop, to the, like a block.
Mm.
And we're showing her an athlete that has practiced for the main event, and there is a starting block that they take off from.
Mm.
But unless you get the block out the way, you won't be able to run the race. And so many have got those blocks, those starter blocks in their way. They've made up the story that starter block has become so enormous that they feel that it is too large to push aside. And yet they forget that they did not come to do the work alone. They have us, they have their teams, they have source, they have energy, and they have just forgotten for a moment who they are. They still think they're the drop. They've forgotten how much water they hold. And you, Michelle, have had a talk with one called Veda Austin, have you not?
Yes, that's correct.
And the water holds innate wisdom, does it not?
Correct.
And humans hold much water in their systems, do they?
Yes. And before you continue, I actually Googled, just in a drop of water, how many molecules contain approximately 5-6 trillion. Each water molecule consists of 3 atoms, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. And I was blown away because that's who we are, aren't we?
Energy in motion.
Mm-hmm.
You are vibrating at an incredible speed.
Mm.
Even when you are sleeping, you are vibrating because you are the time machine. So, because you are a vibrating time machine, what do you wish to do with your time?
Mm.
How do you wish to invest in yourself, in this vibrational machine that you are? This is a very complex biological system, and yet it has mechanisms throughout. It has so many layers, from respiratory to skeletal.
Mm.
If you could name all the body parts that a human system has, that all work together in a timely fashion, then you will see the miracle of who you truly are. And this morning, we showed her a photograph of a timeline for humanity from birth to death,
Mm.
from childhood to about 18, and then from 18 to 65, and then from 65 to about 75. And we said, your childhood time is a very short period when you're learning and growing, and there's much joy, very little responsibility. And then you hit the workforce usually around 18, when you put childlike ways away, on hold. And then from 18 to 65 is when you focus on your work. And yet, for that very large period of time, what are you doing with your work? Are you loving it? Or are you just living it? Can you see that there is such a difference between the word live and love, survive and thrive? And so we would really like to ask people, who are they living for? What are they living for? They came to live their time. So, what do they choose to live their time with? With light choices? With heavy choices? What is it that makes them feel light. And we spoke through this one a few days ago about arriving on this earth plane, all of you, as translucent beings of light. And yet, how many of you are being translucent, and how many of you are stepping up into your light and showing your light? So many have the old belief systems of not good enough, not keeping up with the Joneses, and we say, switch off all the influences, switch off all the advertising, and look into your heart and start writing a list of what it is that you need as opposed to what it is that you want. And then look at your time. Look at how much time you've spent doing what you don't want to do in order to get what you don't need. And then you will laugh and laugh and laugh at the wasted time. Go through your cupboards and have a look at how much stuff you have. All that stuff came through your time machine. How much time did you invest on stuff that you don't even use anymore, that you actually dislike? And how many presents do you buy for others that they don't even like, but it's taken you your time in order to earn money, earth money, for a transaction? So we say it's time for less transactions and rather to hold a transaction within. So yesterday, Michelle, this one received a message about triangles and healing. And we showed her a few years ago about your Merkabahs, your double triangles, your golden light, your key to time. For you are all time travelers. Do you not travel every single night in your dream?
Well, tell us more about that, because I've come to realize that for my own part, people that are walking this beautiful spiritual path, there was an assumption that I thought people knew what a Merkaba is. Tell us more. Speak more to the light. Speak more to, and help us as humans to understand how to navigate our Merkabas.
Well, we told this one over 20 years ago to study sacred geometry and the magic square. And she didn't really understand. And little by little, it is starting to drop into her awareness. And only recently, in a week's time, she will understand more. But a week ago, we showed her the pyramids in Giza, And many people think of it as a triangle. And yet, when you really look at it, it is a square. And it is magical.
Mm.
It exudes the most incredible electromagnetic energy.
Mm.
And that is why she had an experience there, you had an experience there, and many do. For you all have your pineal or pineal gland, which, when pressurized, exudes electromagnetic energy, which lights up as well. And so that triangle that we are speaking about is your Merkaba. It is sacred geometry. Geometry is a mathematical equation, and you are all mathematical equations, and not one of you is the same equation. And when you have an equation, it comes with music, with sound. And so we've spoken about this before. So you are a light being, a light traveler, a piece of sacred geometry, a mathematical equation, and you are sound, and you make sound. You have a system that works to produce your unique sound, not so.
I yes, yet at the same time, that's easy for us who are speaking to you right now, and we have a vibration coming through our voices. What is the mathematical equation for children who are born that are not able to speak or not able to hear? How does that work, please?
This is called telepathy,
Mm-hmm.
telepathic communication.
Mm-hmm.
So it is teleported through the vibration that connects you all on the crystalline grid. So when you speak through the Council of Eight, when this one speaks with us as she is speaking now, how is it that she is hearing our words? We are not making a sound.
I know, and this is what's so fabulous about this change of where we are at. And the question that keeps coming to me is, yes, we know we're speaking to Amun-Ra, yet you speak of a we. So how is that? Is Jill connecting into your frequency right now based on her sacred geometry, or how? Explain to us how the connection happens, even with myself and the Council of Eight. Talk more to that, please.
How should we describe this?
Simply. As simple as possible, please.
Well, we always use lay terms with this one, although she can speak in hieroglyphics if she so chooses.
Mm-hmm.
But because we want the masses to understand, we will always speak in simple terms.
Mm-hmm.
So this one started many years ago with an inquiring mind. So firstly, the intention
Mm-hmm.
has to be there. And we've discussed before what tension is. It
Mm-hmm.
sends a quiver of energy through the lines, and it is picked up and it is heard. It is interpreted by those who are what you would term on an earthly plane a telecommunication station or a server.
Mhm.
So we who are working in what you would term a telecommunications department hear the intention, the vibration, and we are able to recognize it. We are able to interpret the message. This one on that tiny little point on the earth plane is looking for more information. How does this work? And so we send down a photonic parcel, a light parcel, to lighten it up, that area of inquiry, so that that human starts receiving more knowledge. And with that photonic parcel, depending how it is configured, will lead them into different areas of questioning, investigation. It would be like a detective looking for something, for a robbery. They follow the clues, and each clue that they get gives them another layer. So each individual human is on a quest, and it always starts as a pinprick. And yet, the more they explore, the more opens. The more it opens, the more it opens. And so you and this one and thousands just like you have been explorers, and you've made the connection to the switchboard, to the motherboard. And so the motherboard is then connecting you to the ones that can answer your questions, as we are answering this question this day. Therefore, those that have decided to come in what you term are non-verbal, they are very verbal inside.
Mm.
They have the ability to go interstellar in a nanosecond. And the reason that they are so connected interstellar is because they are nonverbal. Have you not noticed that when you quieten the mind, you have many thoughts? And when you meditate, you go into a quieter sanctuary. They live in that sanctuary. And because they live in that sanctuary of stillness, they have a deeper telepathic connection. Does that help you?
It does. Thank you very much. And as you know, I'm full of questions to help us as the humans that we are to understand. So do we all come in with the same size Merkaba, our key of light, or is that different based on our ancestral lineage?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with an ancestral lineage as such. It has everything to do with your mathematical equation and your double pyramids that spin at incredible speed carry you through each incarnation, so that your form that is here is a different form to all the other drops in your bucket. So that is how your Merkaba, if you can think of it as a spaceship. Think of it that your Merkaba is your spaceship, and it takes you wherever you decide to go and experience. So it'll come to Earth and drop you into Earth, and then it'll say, okay, where else do you want to go? It'll pick you up and it'll take you to all the different areas. It is energy and it is vibration, and it is able to allow you to change your form within it.
So is that our soul? Is it the same as our soul, or is it different?
It is your capsule within your soul. Your soul is different.
In what way, if you don't mind me asking, is our soul different to the Merkaba?
Well, your soul holds everything. The soul holds all that you are. So it holds your Merkaba. So your Merkaba, think of your Merkaba as your heart in your human body.
Yes.
If you can think of your Merkaba as the heart in your soul, and then you say, what is your soul desire? And so the Merkaba takes you there with a part of your soul.
So that's where the spinning of the Merkaba vibrates with that pathway that is interchangeable. Is that
Correct.
okay? Got you. Okay,
Correct. And if you can think of your soul as the bucket,
got you. Okay, and then the bucket is the drops of water.
and the water that's in the bucket are all your fractals, your slithers of your soul, and the energy of the water is your Merkaba.
Got you. But do our Merkabas always spin at the same speed as humans, or does it depend on our vibration of if we're sitting in the lower conscious? I'm on today.
Sorry, we have to laugh. Do you think the spaceship is spinning at the same energy as the human?
Is that impossible? Is that what you're saying? That makes sense. Okay, you just gave me a visual. I feel like I'll reel it back, but I'm just so excited for this change, for this flip um, of connection that we're in right now in this year. And I appreciate what you are sharing with us today, because it just feels like the connections of our Merkabahs, it almost feels like it's speeding up. Everything is speeding up, because so many people have been saying to me in the last 2 weeks, I thought it was Monday and all of a sudden it's Friday or it's Sunday. Like we've lost time, which is what you started out with.
Correct. And that's why we said time machine, because it's quickening. And Michelle, we immediately showing Jill Egypt in 2023 when you were standing with her outside Sekhmet's temple.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to you with my grandson Horace,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw his eye in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
And then I said to you, ask Jill what she is seeing.
That's right. Sure.
And I stood with her before we entered the temple. Male, female, masculine, feminine. And then we went through the columns, didn't we?
That's correct. Yes.
And she saw all the beings, all the nations, and so much more. And we went around each column. And on each column is a story. Laura Weaver, who went to Egypt this second time, we spoke with her and we showed her through Hathor the teachings on all the columns. In your lifetime, it would be like watching a documentary, but in that time, it was all on the columns. And as each pupil was able to read the columns, they got another layer and another layer and another layer, for they were time travelers, just as you are. And then I took her deeper and deeper, right through the temple into the back of the pyramid. And on the wall was the all-seeing eye, the eye of Horus, the eye of wisdom, which is the key to your light. And I told her, bring back the balance. It's time for the balance to be restored between male and female. For only when all males are equal to all females, and all females are equal to all males, and seen as equals and treated as equals, there will be no health or wealth. And she heard the words, be our voice, be our voice, be our voice. For we are using her as a channel, as our channel to be the voice for the voiceless. For there are many who are watching your channel, Michelle, and this one's channel, who are looking for courage to step over the starter block, to move the block out the way. For they are living in relationships, they are living in jobs, they are living in countries of fear. There are many that are persecuted. There are many that are still playing victim because they haven't found their voice. And yet their voice resides in their voice box. And it needs to be opened. Their voice is just as important as the next person, for they came with their time machines at this time to be heard. It is time for humanity to stand together and say, this we will no longer tolerate. But it starts with each individual drop in the bucket. So now we would like to say, imagine the whole globe, the whole planet of Earth as the bucket. All those little drops from all those different countries, all those different nationalities, all those time machines waiting to use their time with more heart, open hearts for themselves and for all those that live across their borders. For you humans think that you have progressed so much, and yet look at the borders of some of your countries and then lift the lid and rise above and really, really look at the citizens, your fellow humans. You know, you have one race. You have only one race. It's called the human race. It matters not what color somebody is, what language they speak, what political party they follow. What matters is how they treat another person of the human race, their race.
Mm.
And if you see another being treated badly, what are you standing for? When you walk around the columns and you look at the stories and you get to the end and you meet the all that is, how will you project yourself before it? Will you go with a heart that gave, a heart that lived fully for the opportunity that it was given for this timeline? Did you stand for your fellow human, although it is not of your creed, but it is of your kin? For you are one earth family. This is called kinship. And we spoke to you in this one about wearing the mantle, the cloak, stepping into it, the honor and the dignity. And how much honor can you hold, any of you? And how much dignity can you hold if you continue to cover your eyes and cover your ears when you feel and see your fellow human suffering, starving, crying out in pain and discomfort? And yet so many of you say, what can I do? Only you know what you can do. The question we would like to ask you today is, are you doing it? For when you go through all the columns, all the stories of life, and you get to the end, what will your story say? It is time for humanity to come together. It is time for the quickening. It is time for transcendence. It is time for transmutation. It is time for alchemy. It is time for change. The energy has lifted. We have lifted the energy. We have strengthened the photons. We have many more lines of communication spreading throughout the crystalline grid. It is alive. It is vibrant. It is energetic. So we want to take this moment for everybody listening to put their right hand on their belly button. And close the eyes. And we want them to see a diamond. And their belly button is in the middle of the diamond. And it's sparkling. And if they see this diamond is the most beautiful shape of two triangles. And this is their Merkaba. See how light it is. See how it's shining. Iridescent, translucent. When things are getting too much for them on this earthly plane, they can lie down They can sit in a chair, put their hand on their belly button, step inside their Merkaba, visualize beautiful, bright, golden light going all the way from the top of the diamond through the stratosphere like a torch beam, just going and going and going. And now, from the bottom of the diamond, the bottom triangle, the bottom pyramid, a golden light, down and down and down, connecting right into the heartbeat of Gaia. And your top torch beam, golden light, starting to curve. And at the bottom, from the heartbeat of Gaia, that golden light starting to curve, making a C shape. And that C shape is now being brought right around, all the way around, so it looks like a donut. And this is your toroidal field. You are now connected to the terrestrial and the celestial. Now move your hand from your belly button and place your right hand on your heart and ask that it be connected, the terrestrial and the celestial, into your heart. There you go. And now your left hand. Place your left hand over your forehead and let that golden light from below and above connect with your third eye and your heart, and take it to the 9th chakra, to your motherboard. And now your crystalline grid is active and open. See it pulsing. And now you are ready and connected. And now you can ask the questions that you need to ask moving forward in your life. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful instrument of the song that comes to mind is "Make Me a Channel of Your Peace." And so much clarity. So thank you. And we so appreciate what you are sharing with us today. I most certainly have been in my own space of letting go and loss. And I feel like there's been a lot of grieving for many humans. And I see that you're nodding Jill's head, and something that was sent through to me last night was on April 29th, 2025, the Earth crossed a line, a new all-time record of 79 active volcanoes ignited, and this is not random. This is scroll coded. This is the breath beneath us breaking through the silence. So it sounds to me like everything that you're sharing right now is how it's all coming. Like it feels like Gaia has been ready for such a long time, but we are now having to shift. Would you say this is part of the quickening?
Well, you know, as she shifts, you shift. You have no option but to shift.
Yeah.
for she holds her own energy.
Mm. So can you talk to us about there's been so much, I think, fear around information that has been shared, and it's not good or bad, but these 3 days of darkness, and it feels like it's already happening. Portugal had darkness, I believe. Spain had darkness. Is this how the word that comes to mind is it's going to be intermittent, or is like the 3 days of darkening, like us all going to be feeling the darkness? That's how I am sensing it, but I could be completely wrong.
Well, many feel darkness, many minutes, hours, weeks, and days, and months on your earth plane at the moment. And it's the darkness they feel inside. So it doesn't have to have a physical light to be switched on or switched off for people to feel dark. Not so.
For sure.
Right. So people have once again forgotten the lightness of who they are. They are those that have orchestrated what we would like to term a blackout. But instead of panic, think of it as when you switch your eyes off at night and you go into a dream space. Now, initially, when there is no light, people have a few moments of panic, and they have got so used to relying on systems that are run by external power called your electricity grid. So it is a time for testing humanity. We believe that they will test humanity by creating other areas of blackouts. So we suggest that you keep calm, because once you know something, you can be prepared, like a Girl Guide or a Boy Scout. So make sure that you have what is called good old-fashioned candles. Have a gas bottle barbecues so that you can still cook. You can heat your water on there. If it's cold, you can fill your hot water bottles up, and have a little bag prepared with a torch in it, with candles and matches, maybe some food. Make sure, we actually showed this one last night, to have a collapsible water bowl in her car with a bottle of water there and some dog food, because this is something many humans don't think about, that in times of trouble where they need to get away quickly, that they have pets. So if they keep something like that in their car, and if they keep a bag in their car with a change of clothes, with good walking shoes, a warm jacket, and it's always there, then you are prepared so that the panic doesn't overwhelm you. Make sure that you have a toiletry bag in there with all your essentials. And if you're on medication, make sure that the medication is in the toiletry bag. Then once you've got all that, you have peace of mind. It's like humans like to take insurance out. That bag is your insurance. That is being called proactive. We do not wish to scare humanity, but we told this one many years ago that there will be earth rumbles, earth openings, and this has been ordained because as the earth opens, it will reveal what has been hidden from humanity for eons, and time is running out as such. So that is why we call it the quickening. Things are quickening. Your humanity has reached a turning point, a tipping point, where the majority that we need have what you are termed woken up. They are light. They are not carrying the weight. They will not fear. They will hold a frequency around those that are panicking. They will be calm. They will be the stable boat in the storm. So that is why it's important that people know who or what they are, because the sooner they realize that they are the entire bucket of water and not just the drop, the fear will dissipate, because they will then start remembering who they are, what they are, and what they came to be and what they came to do. We have mentioned before that this is just one adventure of one lifetime, one experience. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to live in fear, or are you going to live in light? Your
I
choice.
love what you're sharing, and it is choice. And I was just researching because the Pope has obviously joined back into the light, and I was told that this may be the last Pope, and I just find this a fascinating time for humanity, especially so many that have been a part of the Catholic Church. So first of all, I'd like to ask, is the Pope back in the light? And because for me, that's a lovely way of knowing that he has been received.
The
And
Pope, the Pope is where he chose to be. The Pope is where he chooses to go. He chooses his landing platform. He chooses his substation. It is of no consequence to any earthling where another earthling goes.
so is that part of, again, the sacred geometry that he was designed with, or that we were designed with, as to where we go? Because it's we go back into our light body immediately, don't we? As soon as we leave our physical form.
You are never away from your light body. You choose to only see yourself as your physical form rather than your light body.
Mm.
And yet you are able to see your light body. But there are some who have achieved this. There are others, many others, that still only see their physical form. And yet, if you were more than your physical form, or so should we rather say, if you were only your physical form, how is it that we are speaking with you now?
Mm. Well, that, I feel, is the purity of all this change, this quickening that you guys have been speaking about today, because it's so important that, again, millions have given away their power to the Catholic Church. And this has gone on for a very long time. Not even the Catholic Church, all these different systems that have been put into place a long time ago. So I love how there is so much change happening for humanity. And this is the year, we believe, this year and next year. So it's about preparing, would you say, yet staying in our space of heart and not fear.
There are many who are termed religious, who follow the word. And yet, what words are they following, for the words have been adulterated, changed. There have been those that have been in charge of the words and changed the words for reasons known to them, for they had a lack within themselves where they needed to govern and be in charge of another. And yet no one is in charge of anyone. Each human is sovereign, and it's time for humanity to step into their sovereignty as Earth is now taking its place in a different part of the solar system. Every human that is here, incarnated in planet Earth at this time, we would like to thank you all for being here. Each one of you is playing your part perfectly. We do not see anyone as good or bad. We see duality. We see light and dark working hand in glove. And those that you term bad have created the pathway, the crumbs, for those that wish to awaken, to investigate, to open up their light, for they too would still be dormant. Not so? So then how does one call out someone else who has actually opened up your pathway to light? How can this be a bad thing? It is time for humanity's ascension. It is time for the Earth's ascension. And it's either going to be a rough ride or a gentle ride, depending on how well you know yourself. There will be human tears. There are always human tears at any time of change or birth. And this is a birthing, a rebirth. This is a time of change, and you all came to be part of this change. Many could not come at this time, but this is why we say this is your time. And so we end today with blessing you all. Please go and look at the bucket and remember the greatness of whom you truly are.
Thank you so much. We look forward to your connection in Egypt this year. As you are well aware, we're so excited for all that we are going to be learning, sharing, shedding. And we're so grateful to you, Amun-Ra, and your team today. So thank you so much. Any last words of wisdom?
I sent my daughter, Hathor, with a message, did I not?
You did.
All is well. Those that hear the calling will come and meet with me in Egypt. I shall be speaking through this one again. There are many structures that are falling, and yet there are many structures that are being rebuilt. The pillars of light, whom many of you came to be, are being rebuilt. Stronger DNA, magnificent photonic structures that you are. be the pillar. Be the pillar to the entrance of your own temples of light.
Beautiful. Is that what you would want us to call this session today? Or what would you like us to call it?
Amun-Ra Speaks.
Thank you so much, Amun-Ra. We wish you the most beautiful time, and we thank you again for this connection. And with that, Jilly, move your toes, your fingers. Feeling fabulous. Wow. Wow. How are you feeling?
Oh, it's so chilly, hey?
Well, I'm freezing, like my hands are freezing. That was just a
Oh,
beautiful.
there's so much snow on the mountains outside. It's so beautiful, but sure. It was incredible seeing the Merkaba going through the temples, looking at the columns, looking at humanity, it was like I was in a spaceship with him, looking down at the earth, and it was like the top of the earth. You know, if you had to cut a soft-boiled egg and take the top off and look into the egg, it was like looking at that at earth and looking at all the pain and the conflict and it's like when you look at it like that from above, you just want to shake your head because it doesn't make sense, you know, because you're on this most magnificent earth plane, and there's such an abundance if we all share and support each other that there's absolutely no need for the destruction and the absolute lack of care for a fellow human.
I know it's pretty basic and simple, isn't it?
It's
Where we
absolutely,
all just show up, and I mean, you know, it's our neighbor. He was going through. I believe he's quite. Oh, hello, Julie. Oh, that's so interesting. She's just gone. I'm going to push pause. Actually, guys, I'm going to finish off. Julie and I were obviously going to just have a bit of a conversation, and maybe her battery went flat on her computer. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to stay in your heart, stay strong. We are strong. We're stronger together. And over and above all, remember, love is why we are here. And I love you all. Julie loves you all. And for those of you who are keen to join us in Egypt this year, August, please go to my website, www.michcarpenter.com, and check out the package that we have for Egypt. It's a bespoke tour. We have chartered our own boat, and it's honestly going to be magical. So thank you, everybody. Love you all. Bye.